Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks, guys. We'll let them play the rest of the song here, but it's going to give a 5-minute heads up. We're going to get the show on the road and find a space in history for what we're going to be doing today. So I'm just going to give you 5 minutes, and then we will start the program. Thank you very much. let me know. I can't see very good back there. So. Okay.
Bill, I didn't open those things yet.
Okay.
Because I didn't know whether they wanted to show the people what they're going to be, like the booklet.
Yeah.
Like, because they might want to take it, and once I open it and put everything flat, they won't be able to do it until afterwards.
Get somebody back there to cue you. Tell them to come forward and help you. Call somebody.
Could I get a staff person who's helping organize here to kind of let me know when the grand entry will be happening? Just let me know. Oh, you guys, everybody got quiet. That's awesome. Yeah. I'm not wearing my glasses, and the lights are bright. But in the meantime, if everyone who is standing, if you can find your seats, please, so that when the procession starts, that we can start. Thank you. Okay. We still have 5 minutes. Yeah, so you guys can play another song. Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Jeff. Okay, we're getting very close. Can everyone please take your seats? Thanks, Dan. Someone give me a signal. Not that kind of sign. Oh, yes, let's stand and give a big welcome. It's my immense pleasure today to introduce you to Minister of Crown Indigenous Relations, the Honorable Gary Ananda Sangari, and of course, the man who got us here today, who's worked so hard on behalf of the nation, my president and yours, David Chartrand. And ladies and gentlemen, for those who can, please rise and remain standing for the entrance of the Honorable Anita Neville, the Lieutenant Governor of Manitoba. And one more time, if you can remain standing, I would like to invite Red River Métis singer. Apologies. One of those guys who likes to fill that silence, awkward pause. I would also please ask you to remain standing, and I would like to invite Krista Raynault, our Red River Métis singer and a very good friend, for the singing of O Canada.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Et ta valeur, deux fois trempée, protégera nos foyers et nos droits. Protégera nos foyers et nos droits.
Thank you very much, and please, again, remain standing. I would like to invite our elder, Linda St. Cyr Sarek, and Elder Oliver Boulette for the opening prayer.
Isn't it great to be a Red River Métis today? Hey. Thank you. And we have our Heavenly Father to thank for that. If you would just join me, please. Most gracious Heavenly Father, it's with grateful hearts that we stand before you today. Our hearts are leaping with excitement and relief. Thank you for this day, for the gift of life, and for abundant blessings. We appreciate the opportunity to gather together to witness this historical event. This is truly a wonderful and welcome purpose for a gathering. It's hard not to get emotional. Bless everyone in attendance and those attending virtually. Lord, thank you for answered prayer and for meeting all our needs at the right time. Louis Riel's dream has finally been realized, and for that we are truly grateful. We thank our President, David Chartrand, and his cabinet for their spirit of determination, persistence, and hard work to get us to where we are today. Thank you, Lord, for continuing to bless us, the Red River Métis. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Yes, Elder Linda, we have a gift that we would like to give you. Yes, but you've got it already. Okay, very good. Thank you so much, everyone. We have a tremendous amount of people here. You can sit down now. That's fine. Appreciate it. So, first of all, I would like to introduce myself. Yes, gentlemen, please have a seat. My name is Will Goodon. I will be your MC today. It's a great pleasure and honor, it's a great pleasure and honor to be here. And you know, there's been some talk about that this is a historic moment, and I think that's understating things a lot, especially from the point of view of the Red River Métis. I wanted to welcome everyone who's here today, welcome everyone who's watching virtually, and those who are here in spirit who have done a lot of the hard work and on whose shoulders we're standing today. Thank you again, Elder Linda, for your prayer. Thank you, Oliver, for the accompanying fiddle. We are now going to show a video, and this video will give us all a glimpse on how we got here today.
In 1870, Louis Riel's provisional government negotiated Manitoba into Confederation. But after the Manitoba Act's passing, promises for economic opportunities and land for the Métis were not upheld by Canada. 153 years later, everything is about to change. On March 4th of 2023, the Manitoba Métis Federation held their first treaty consultation with citizens in Dauphin, Manitoba.
This is a day to celebrate, a day to be proud, a day that tells us the future is going to be a hell of a lot brighter. And as I said, without hesitation, Riel probably smiles upon us today, saying, you got what I couldn't do, and I'm so proud of my people today. So thank you very much.
Over the next 3 months, the MMF went on to host 17 treaty consultation meetings across Canada and into North Dakota. Many Red River Métis citizens have moved beyond the borders of Manitoba, and the MMF committed to including as many as possible in this historic event. All of that led to this day. On June 3rd, 2023, Red River Métis citizens gathered to vote on the historic modern-day treaty.
This is actually probably the biggest Red River Métis event of all time. We had thousands on the buffalo hunt, but we have thousands here today. We have satellite locations in Toronto, Ottawa, Vancouver, Thompson, Napaw, Dauphin, and Selkirk as well, and upstairs as well for Winnipeg region.
It's just excitement, hope, pride, resiliency. Like, you could go on and on.
Very happy that I'm here with my daughter, with my grandsons at this moment.
People turned up in droves, looking to finally realize the dream first brought forward by Louis Riel in 1870. A palpable energy filled the room as MMF President David Chartrand took the stage to set the table for this historic vote.
Today, you are about to make history. Today, we have taken ourselves to a place that they stole from us 153 years ago. Today is about a dream that's going to become real. And today is about change.
Today I don't have to shed no tears. I'll shed tears tomorrow. There'll be tears of joy. And you know, I'm happy for us Métis people.
This was stolen from our people in 1870. This was taken away from us. It would have changed the lives of our people today. But I'll tell you what, no matter what it could have done, we know we would have been better off. There's not a doubt about that. But it never took something from us. The spirit.
What more can there be? What more could any nation want than the people that are here literally to do what we are doing today, wholeheartedly?
It was so emotional. The tears were almost there when David Chartrand was almost ready to cry. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment to be here.
When I was in school, we weren't allowed to say we were Métis. And now we can be acknowledged by the government, maybe by the people of Canada.
This is emotional. I swear, you could see my heart. You would see joy. You would see pride. You would see the future. This is a dream. This is Riel's dream. This is something he wanted and something they stole from him. They took it from him and they robbed it from him. They robbed it from us. They took away our future and we've waited a long damn time.
This is Louis Riel's dream. This is what Louis Riel died for. This is what he believed in. And this is happening actually right now. And he must be smiling up there, looking at us.
On your mark. Get set. Question is called. All in favor.
Unanimously approved in Winnipeg and all across the satellite locations. Nervous anticipation turned to jubilation.
Show this to your people. Show this to your children. This is unbelievable. This is unity. This is the nation. And this is who they'd have to fight with if they want to mess with us. So again, be proud. This is your day, your kids' day, your children's day. This is the future for them. And I can't say enough. This cabinet is proud. This cabinet will do our job next. And we'll get this in Parliament and get it done.
Fueled by the tireless advocacy of Red River Métis leaders, past and present, the vote represented a unified pride that ushered in a new era of self-governance.
As chair of this extraordinary General Assembly, I declare that a unanimous vote in favor of the Red River Métis Treaty.
Thanks to Louis Riel's provisional government, MMF founders, locals, elders, veterans, citizens, cabinet members, and President David Chartrand, a dream 153 years in the making is about to change the Red River Métis Nation forever.
I'll sell my guitars, I'll spend life behind bars to take one more trip through the starry night. This was the best day of my life. Thanks for the best day of my life.
Now, I'm not sure if everybody's crying already, but we can hand out Kleenexes in a little while. It's a great honor for me to invite the Honorable Anita Neville, the Lieutenant Governor of Manitoba, and a friend of the Red River Métis to provide her remarks. Please help me welcome the Lieutenant Governor.
What an extraordinary day this is today, here on Portage in Maine, here in Manitoba, and here in Canada. Fellow Manitobans, members of the Red River Métis community, distinguished guests, friends of all, today we feel the presence of more than 2 centuries of history. As Lieutenant Governor of Manitoba, I'm pleased to acknowledge, very pleased to acknowledge, that we are gathering in the heartland of the Red River Métis and on Treaty 1 land. This is a momentous day for a province that is located on the treaty territories and ancestral lands of the Anishinaabe, the Innu, the Cree, the Dakota, the Dene, and the Nahoto Nation, and the homeland of the Red River Métis, and on the northern lands that were and are the ancestral lands of the Inuit. As we witness the historic signing of the Red River Métis Self-Government Recognition and Implementation Treaty, Manitobans affirm their respect for the spirit and intent of the treaties and treaty making. We remain committed to working in partnership with First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people in the spirit of truth, reconciliation, and collaboration. I'm sure that everyone at this gathering realizes that today is truly a moment of history. And indeed, this treaty signing is an event that will be recalled in the history books for years to come. It will be seen as the key step in establishing a new relationship between Canada and the Red River Métis. It will be seen as part of a long struggle for recognition and self-government that dates back to the Red River Resistance and before. But as much as November 30th, 2024 will be understood as an important date, we must remember that history is not only made up of such red letter days. History is made every day through the determination and courage of women and men working independently and working together. This date is the product of generations of learning, teaching, advocacy, and service. We are here today thanks to every member of the Red River Métis community who has worked to preserve that culture and history, every advocate and researcher, every dedicated leader, and every volunteer who has worked to make this a stronger community. To all who have worked to make history happen here today, thank you for your dedication to new, just, and collaborative Manitoba and Canada. May this day inspire us all to continue building the inclusive country and province we desire and we deserve. Thank you for including me. Thank you, merci, miigwech, and shalom to all. Thank you. It's heavy, then we'll give it to Jack. Okay. Thank you again. It's not necessary, but thank you.
Thank you so much. Please, let's show our appreciation for Lieutenant Governor Anita Neville. And thank you very much for your kind words. I would like to now invite the man to my left, the Honorable Minister Dan Vandel, our very own Red River Métis in Cabinet, and friend of all of ours, to bring some greetings, to bring some words. Please help me welcome Minister Dan Vandel.
Your Honor, Elder Saint-Cyr Sarek, President Chartrand, Premier, I see the Mayor here, other dignitaries too numerous to mention. Today is a fantastic day for Manitoba, and today is a fantastic day for Canada. Aujourd'hui, c'est une journée extrêmement importante pour le Manitoba et pour notre pays, le Canada. I can tell you that this day has been a long time coming, about 153 years, and that this day is going to affect everyone, Manitobans, Canadians, Métis, and non, in a positive way. I can also tell you that in the highest offices, the highest political offices of the federal government, over the last few years, people have been talking about the Métis. People have been talking about Métis issues. And people have been talking about the Métis origin story. And I can say clearly, I can say strongly, unequivocally, that the Métis origin story begins right here at Red River. C'est ici, à la Rivière-Rouge, où l'URL et le gouvernement provisoire a été formé et a organisé. It's here at Red River that Louis Riel and the provisional government organized themselves. It was at Red River, after much consultation, that the Bill of Rights was written. And it was here at Red River that the provisional government negotiated the Manitoba Act, which led Manitoba joining Confederation. But it was also here at Red River, quite literally under our feet, that Canada committed a reign of terror. Canada committed a reign of violence, of intimidation, and that Canada failed to honor the land and the economic terms of the Manitoba Act. And let's not forget, if you don't believe me, maybe you'll believe the Supreme Court, that in 2013, the Supreme Court of Canada ruled that Canada failed to provide adequate land provisions to the Métis. In 2013, the Supreme Court ruled that Canada needed to address unfinished business with the Métis. And I was there in 2014 at a hall on McPhillips Street with Terry Duguid, I believe, and Kevin Lamoureux, where our future Prime Minister, the candidate Trudeau, declared that when we are elected, we are going to get the treaty with the Manitoba Métis Federation done. And today, I'm proud that we are here. I want to thank the Manitoba Métis Federation for your perseverance, your hard work, your drive, your energy over generations to keep fighting for the rights of all Métis. Of course, I want to thank President Chartrand for that same drive, that same energy, that same just perseverance to get things done for the Manitoba Métis. I want to thank Prime Minister Trudeau, who in 2014 made the declaration, but a leader, a Prime Minister that gets too little credit for his commitment to reconciliation and for his investment to reconciliation. And I can tell you, as a Manitoba Métis minister who's worked alongside the Prime Minister for 9 years, we would not be here if it were not for the commitment and the drive of the Prime Minister. I want to thank Minister Anendis Angry, who fought relentlessly with the public service and with his cabinet colleagues to make sure that we are here today. Merci beaucoup, Gary. Thank you. There's so many people to thank, so I'm going to cut it off with the last mention. I want to thank Manitoba Caucus. I want to thank Terry Duguid, Ben Carr, Kevin Lamoureux for always keeping their eye on the ball and make sure that we get this done. There is lots of work to do, believe me. That we're halfway there, but we need to get this through legislation now. So the work continues. We are going to be there till the end, and we will get this done. Merci. Thank you.
Before you sit down, Minister, I have a gift of appreciation for being here today. Thank you. Yes, let's give him another big round of applause. He's retiring, apparently. Not sure what his plans are next, but I'm sure he'll let us all know. But thank you very much, Minister Vandal, and it gives me an honor, a great honor, and a serious privilege to be able to introduce our next speaker, who has also been an ally a warrior on behalf of the Red River Métis, and he's also a member of Parliament from Winnipeg, and I would like to have a big, warm Red River Métis welcome for Terry Duguid.
Well, thank you, Minister Gooden. Will, Your Honor, President Chartrand, your cabinet, and special guests. First, I'd like to acknowledge and thank Elders Linda St. Cyr-Sadek and Oliver Boulette for their prayer and presence on this very, very special day. Your wisdom reminds us of the deep roots and resilience of the Red River Métis people and the long journey that has brought us to this day. As many have said already, this is a historic day, one that honors the dream of Louis Riel, now recognized as Manitoba's first premier. It's a day of celebration, a day of reflection, a day of progress. Today's event would not have been possible without exceptional leadership, and I want to emphasize that word, leadership. And I want to take a moment to praise the leadership of President David Chartrand. He has been the greatest Métis leader since Louis Riel himself. Yes, you can clap for that. Tirelessly working to realize Riel's vision of recognition and self-determination for the Red River Métis Nation. Under his leadership, the Manitoba Métis Federation has become a powerful force, with its influence and achievements benefiting not only Métis citizens, but the entirety of Manitoba. The MMF's buildings, and we're in one right now, the buildings that grace our skyline are a testament to its growing and positive impact on our city and our province. I also want to acknowledge the entire MMF cabinet and government for their dedication and commitment to their people and this province. This must be a joyous day for you and the entire Métis family. As a lifelong Manitoban, I feel profoundly honored to witness this very, very special moment. The history of the Red River Métis is deeply entwined with the history of Manitoba itself, from the days of the fur trade to the pivotal role played by the Red River Métis in the creation of Manitoba as Canada's 5th province. Your story is one of courage, resistance, and unity. Today, as we recognize Métis self-governance and self-determination, Canada affirms and respects the Manitoba Métis community's unique history, traditions, culture, and rights as Indigenous people, as well as its important role in the history and development of Western Canada. With this agreement, we confirm our commitment to a collaborative process to advance reconciliation, as well as renew and enhance the nation-to-nation, government-to-government relationship based on recognition, affirmation, and implementation of rights. This achievement is a powerful, powerful example of what can be accomplished when governments work together in partnership. Indeed, we have seen the benefits of collaboration between the MMF and Canada in some very positive outcomes, in housing, in infrastructure, in education, in cultural preservation. And I want to especially acknowledge, as Dan did, Minister Gary Anandasangri for his steadfast commitment to your cause. As a human rights lawyer and a passionate advocate for Indigenous people, he approached this issue with determination and compassion, ensuring that the Métis Nation's right to self-governance was properly recognized in the treaty that will be signed today. You know, I would catch Gary walking down the hall after a meeting with President Chartrand, and I'm not kidding, he would be rubbing his arm. And I asked him, Gary, what's the matter? He said, David Chartrand nearly twisted my arm off. That is a true story, folks, and those negotiations were hot and heavy, but I can tell you Gary put his shoulder to the wheel and got it done. I also want to recognize Minister Dan Bandel, a proud Métis and member in Parliament for the very riding that Louis Riel himself represented. Though, as you know, Riel was elected 3 times and was never able to take his seat. Minister Vandel's unwavering dedication to Métis people in Manitoba and his 30 years of public service to Winnipeg, Manitoba, and Canada is something we should all be grateful, and I think you should show that appreciation right now. So today we are finally recognizing Red River Métis self-governance. We are fulfilling a promise that was first envisaged by Louis Riel and carried forward by generations of Métis leaders. This is not just a victory for the Red River Métis. It's a victory for Manitoba. It's a victory for Canada. So let us celebrate this historic milestone together. Thank you. Merci.
Thank you very much, Terry. You know, he's Energizer Bunny. He gets things done and he keeps on going and going and going, and something that we really appreciate to have a friend like that. Thanks again. Please, let's show appreciation to Terry again. We have several guests here, and I would probably take up all the rest of the time we have today if I were to recognize absolutely everyone. There's so many folks who came from across the homeland, who came representing the province and Canada. Of course, we've got our MPs from Manitoba, Ben Carr and Kevin Lamoureux. And of course, Jaime Batiste, he's the chair of the Indigenous Caucus, am I correct? Yes, that's right, in the Liberal Party. And thank you very much, Jaime, for being here today. And like I said, there's a lot of very important people here, and there's a lot of our grassroots people who are watching on live stream, and we wanted to give them a big shout out because, you know, we wanted everyone to be here, and that's without a doubt the intention that all of us had. But you know, this was how we were able to put this together with a short time notice, and we want to say thank you for those who are being here, those who are watching, and of course those who helped us build what we have today. I'm very pleased to be able to welcome up Premier Wab Kinew. Premier Kinew is responsible for the recognition of our first Premier, Louis Riel, and he did that with the very first act when he formed a government. And symbolic, yes, but also it's he puts his money where his mouth is, and it's something that we appreciate. Please help me welcome our Premier, Wab Kinew.
It has often been said that we are all treaty people. But what about the Métis? It has often been said that we are all treaty people, and from today on, there can be no doubt that that includes the Red River Métis. This is a tremendous victory, and it's certainly been a long time coming. So on behalf of the province of Manitoba, I want to extend congratulations to the national government of the Red River Métis, the Manitoba Métis Federation, to President Chartrand, to all the MMF cabinet ministers who are here, and to all the citizens of the Red River Métis across Manitoba and across Canada. I also want to extend our congratulations to the Government of Canada. This is a significant step in reconciliation. And as we have heard, it is because of the hard work of Ministers Ananda Sangari and Vandel, and of course MPs Duguid and Carr and Lamoureux and Batiste and many others. And so I really want to highlight the important work that you have done to bring us here to this important moment. This is something that I think speaks to the fact that we are one province, we are one Canada, and as we move forward together, the idea that Métis citizens will always know that their rightful place in our society, in our country, is acknowledged and honored in the proper way, that can only mean good things for the future generations. Alors, je suis très content, très heureux d'être ici pour féliciter le peuple métis et puis le gouvernement du Canada. C'est un moment historique, un moment important et puis absolument un moment qui lance un message aux jeunes de notre province et puis notre pays que tous les Manitobains, incluant les Métis, ont une partie très importante dans le futur et l'avenir. Mishigodash Nenonde Nanakamug, Owe, President Chartrand, Kedash Nigani and Ninyuk, Nigani Akwayuk, Opportunity Kandam Nongum. I just want to quickly acknowledge my provincial colleagues who are here today, who are, I'm thinking here, as Red River Métis citizens, even though they are members of the Legislative Assembly. Ministers Cable, Minister Smith, and then MLAs Cross and Blasco. Apologies if I missed anyone. This is a celebratory occasion. I'm almost happy enough to do a jig, but I won't do that out of politeness for the esteemed festivities happening here. We're so very proud. Thank you so much for including us, and congratulations. This is a victory for the Métis people and all Manitobans.
Thank you very much. Big warm welcome for and a thank you for Premier Rob Canoe. I understand that there was a hockey game this morning. I wasn't going to mention it, but Mayor Gillingham forced me to because the city beat the province. So, but the Premier said he still has his teeth, and he's still looking forward to having big smiles when events like this happen. I am, we're getting to close to this historic moment. We're building up to it. We have a great honor to have sitting at the table with us, advocating for us at the federal cabinet, Minister Gary Anandasangari, who has quickly become a friend to so many and to the Red River Métis. And it's an honor now to be able to ask him to come up and speak a few words prior to the signing of this historic document. Please help me welcome Minister Anandasangari.
Tanzi, hello, bonjour, and thank you for the very warm welcome. In fact, I would say very heated welcome with the Manitoba Métis Federation. In fact, we were experiencing this heat at the negotiation table, not on the day of signing, David, so I think we are at a point where we could truly celebrate today. It's a pleasure to be back in Winnipeg on Treaty 1 territory in the homeland of the Red River Métis. And I want to thank Elder Linda for starting us off in the right way. And I want to also acknowledge many people that are here in this room. And I will start with my dear friend, President David Chartrand, who I would say since my appointment, and even before that, has been a very strong friend that has worked very hard to advance rights of the Métis Nation. And he has been relentless in his advocacy. And I can truly say I was appointed on July the 26th, and I think I called him either the day off or the day after, and he said, get on a plane, come to Winnipeg, and let's get this signed. Then he said, let's have an event on October the 14th where we're going to be doing the signing, and of course, it was my birthday that day, so I said, President, I'll be there, but I'm not sure if we'd be ready to sign. But he did not relent. We were on the phone virtually every other week. We met on over a dozen occasion, if not more. And through the hard work of him and his team, I want to acknowledge all the team members who have been supporting the President. We're here today. So thank you, President, for your unwavering leadership. I want to acknowledge the Lieutenant Governor. It's really good to see you again. And of course, Premier Wapkunu. And I was there at the last assembly in October of 2023, where he said to a standing ovation that the Manitoba will recognize Louis Riel as the first honorary premier of this province. And I was so heartened to see that that come through a few weeks later. So thank you, Premier. Thank you for your leadership as well. I want to thank Mayor Scott Gillingham. Thank you. Good to see you. And let me just talk about some of my colleagues. Manitoba is blessed to have a number of MPs who have been working very hard to advance Manitoba, issues in Manitoba. And it starts with Minister Dan Vandel, who has for many years been an advocate for Métis rights. He's been a strong human rights champion. But as a Minister of Northern Affairs, we share a portfolio, and it's been remarkable to see the work that Dan has done over his tenure. And as he retires, and I don't know what you're going to do in retirement, Dan, but as he retires, I do want to say that this is a very special moment, I think, for you, for us to witness your advocacy coming to fruition. So thank you for your leadership, my friend. And of course, Terry Duguid, who is representing the Prime Minister here today. Thank you, Terry, for your leadership. And of course, my friend Ben Carr, as well as Kevin Lamoureux, all of them collectively form the Manitoba Caucus. And we've been talking about this now for over a year. And they keep bugging me, saying, like, what's taking so long? What's taking so long? But a couple of days ago, Wednesday, I pulled them aside and said, okay, guys, we're ready to go. And they're all here today, so I want to thank them for their leadership. The work that we've completed so far will not be done until Parliament recognizes this by way of a bill, and I'm here and so heartened to see my good friend and Parliamentary Secretary Jaime Baptiste here, who will be leading the charge in Parliament to make sure that this becomes law. So thank you, Jaime, for being here. And let me also acknowledge May Fai, who is a former member of Parliament, who is here on behalf of Sébastien Lemire, who's the critic for the Bloc Québécois on Indigenous issues. So I really appreciate you being here. Merci pour vous. And I also want to acknowledge our Member of Parliament from Elmwood Transcona, Leila Dance, who's also here today. Thank you, Leila, for being here. I know I spoke to Leah over the weekend, and I know she really did want to be here as well, so I want to acknowledge Leah. President Lamouche, thank you. Thank you for being here and showing your solidarity. It's very important that you're here representing the Métis Settlements General Council. Thank you. And let me also acknowledge all the youth and elders and veterans and everyone else who are Métis citizens that are here today. This announcement's long overdue. The signing of the Red River Métis Self-Government Recognition and Implementation Treaty. Le signataire du traité de reconnaissance et de mise en œuvre de l'autonomie gouvernementale des Métis de la Rivière Rouge. Some of you were here when I first attended your annual General Assembly back in 2023 when I was initially appointed. And we talked about advancing this. It is truly a moment that we have all been waiting for. The first of its kind Métis Treaty will recognize the Manitoba Métis Federation as the government of the Red River Métis. This is a significant event. It affirms your inherent rights to self-government as well as lawmaking powers over citizenship, elections, and internal operations. Now, I want to be clear. For over 2 centuries, the Red River Métis have established their own governance structure, made and enforced their own laws, and followed their own traditions and customs. This treaty represents a solemn commitment to provide constitutional protection. At its core, this is about self-determination. It's about advancing the basic right of Indigenous peoples to organize and govern themselves. Now that the treaty is signed, the next step is introducing federal legislation to bring it into effect, and I hope to advance this in the coming days. And I call upon all parliamentarians to support this initiative and to ensure that we have swift passage of this bill. Once in effect, the treaty will apply to the Manitoba Métis Federation's approximately 42,500 Red River Métis citizens. It will be the first treaty of its kind concluded with a Métis government in Canada. This is one example of how the Government of Canada is working with partners to implement the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples and advance the right to self-determination under Article 4. And it is part of our work with Métis leadership across Canada to advance their priorities and their vision for a stronger, brighter future for Métis. But this is a long overdue step to recognize the rights of the Red River Métis to shape their own destiny. And it formalizes our government-to-government relationship with the Manitoba Métis Federation. I want to offer my heartfelt gratitude and congratulations to everyone who have made this possible. The Manitoba Métis Federation, its leadership, Red River Métis citizens, elders, and our negotiating teams. And I want to acknowledge Mike Schnitz. I think Mike's right there. Mike, wave. And Deborah Corbier. I don't know if Deborah's here. I haven't seen her, but I also want to acknowledge Deborah. This is the federal team. I also want to acknowledge Jim Aldridge and, of course, Al Benoit. Al's right here. Who were relentless on their work on the Manitoba Métis Federation side. As a great leader, Louis Riel, said, "We must cherish our inheritance. We must preserve our nationality for the youth of our future. The story should be written down to pass on." That is what we're doing today. We are writing this story. And on a personal note, I just want to say this has been a truly remarkable experience for me. It's been one where I feel like I've put in an enormous amount of effort just to get to this point because of the inspiration that I received from all of you, Manitoba Métis Federation. It is so many people. I was in Toronto last week, and I met someone from Manitoba who was truly excited that this was coming. In fact, I had to break it to her that we were doing the signing this week, and she was just overwhelmed. And I see this in my own life, and I want to acknowledge Sherry Smith, who is our Director of Policy, who is from the Red River Métis, and who has since I was appointed, has been a steadfast advocate, but also reasoned supporter of the work that we've been doing on self-determination, and her guidance is unwavering. So it's a very proud moment, Sherry, for you, and I know your family is here as well. So Mr. and Mrs. Smith, thank you as well. And I want to recognize you and really honor you for this. This is important. We're doing important work, and this is a beginning, but is a new beginning. It is one where we're going to be able to do a lot more in the future, and I am so grateful to be here for this celebration. It truly is, Premier, a celebration. It is a celebration that wouldn't happen without, of course, the leadership of President Chartrand and his cabinet, and all of you that have been supporting this work. I am so excited at the prospects, at the future of the potential that exists with the Red River Métis, and this is such a great example for us as a path to reconciliation. So thank you, and I'm so grateful once again to be here with you and to celebrate with you. Thank you.
Minister, we have a gift for you, and we actually have our Minister of Governance who will be presenting it, Minister Judy Mayer. So please, on behalf of the Red River Métis government, we express our appreciation. There we go. That's wrapped very well. Oh, wow. Here, I'll hold the box. I got the box. Don't leave it lying around. There'll be people who will steal it, including myself. So, beautiful. I told them not to leave it lying around. There might be someone who might steal it. Not me, of course, but yes, that's a beautiful, beautiful gift, and it's on an amazing, amazing day that we celebrate with the gifts that we do as a part of our culture. So we are going to be hearing from our last speaker for the day. I've introduced this gentleman for almost 30 years, and sometimes run out of things to say, but I think what Terry said earlier about our president being the greatest leader since Louis Riel is as close as a person could get. He's also our friend, our brother, and someone who has dedicated his life. Please help me welcome our president, David Chartrand.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very, very much, everybody. Thank you. It means so much to me. Of course, I want to acknowledge our elder for the opening prayer. Linda's beautiful prayer. Linda is always trying to capture the essence of the spirit of the message to, of course, our God. And Métis are still very religious people. I myself prayed this morning and I prayed last night regarding this event. And I prayed to Louis Riel and I prayed to my mom. And I look at the future. You know, there's so many dignitaries here today. I can't mention each and every one of you, but I want to say thank you to all the MPs from Canada that are here today. DP, Liberal, then Representative Bloc Québécois. We've been able to achieve the support of all those leaders. Jagmeet Singh of the NDP has promised to support this legislation to reach royal assent. Yves, the leader of the Blanchette, the Bloc Québécois, is committed his support to this process to fulfill our vision, our dream. We've got the support of the Green Party. We've got the support of the Prime Minister. We probably will get, without doubt, the support of the Conservatives. I just not had a chance to meet directly with their leader. I've met with several MPs. But when we look here today of the vast amount of different leadership to one of the best orators I've heard in a long time, the Premier of Manitoba. I get jealous sometimes. But I also have some good friends, great friends that are here. Chief Mary Clear Sky somewhere, I can't see because that light is so bright, but he's somewhere there, I think. There he is. Past Chief and now Councillor of Rosa River, Terry Nelson, somewhere here. Very, very good friend of mine. And to all those that are here, our ambassador, Clement Chartier, and our elders and veterans that are here, some from Saskatchewan, some from here. And some that are listening. There's people, this is live stream, and people are listening all over the place right now. And the amount of calls we got yesterday was phenomenal. The hundreds upon hundreds and hundreds of people phoned in yesterday to congratulate our government to achieving a vision that we waited 154 years to get to. That's a long time. But one thing you know for the Métis, we don't give up. We will pursue something that's rightfully ours, and no matter how long it takes, we will never give up. We will try and try and try. You know, people have asked me, this morning I was inspired, because I really don't like reading speeches. But I was inspired this morning about the feeling, and my emotions were running. They're still running right now. You know, people that don't know what we've gone through, people that don't know what our people have suffered through, being treated as worse than second class, being pushed to the side, and always watching everybody else get everything. You know how hard it is to tell your people, your family, that it's wrong. It's absolutely wrong. But this day forward is going to change. You look at our history. You ask yourself, for example, the veterans. They went not long after the last battle in Batoche. 35 years later, they were seeking us after they went to war with us and killed us. We still went to a country that took us to war, in a country that treated us with hostility and despise. But we still went because we believe in democracy, the right to protect those that can't protect themselves, and to fight for freedom. And many of our veterans did not return after World War I. And those that came home had nothing left for them. We went again in World War II. Mass numbers went. Many are buried in foreign soil today. Many came home and ended up being drunks because they were broken. Broken. They'd seen so much dead, bloodshed, and pain. But they came home, and their children saw their dad, their grandpa, and understood him to be a drunk as he passed this world, not realizing that this country abandoned him because the story was never told. Not realizing the Métis went for simple things, even like eyeglass or dental. And the bureaucrats would tell them, do you think you deserve it? Were you shot at? Were you in the front lines? That's what they received when yet the promise was an economic head start to rebuild their lives. That's how the Métis were treated, fighting for a country they still loved, a country they helped build. And it took, what did the veterans want? 7 little letters from the alphabet. 7 little tiny letters out of 26 to say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for what I did to you 75 years ago. And we're going to make it up. So I do thank Canada for coming to terms, although it took 75 years. You heard people speak of our land claim. That took 143 years for us to find justice in this country. Why is it that we had to go to court to fight for it? Because no one wanted to recognize who we are. Nobody wanted to recognize that we're rights-bearing people. We've always had that right and protection of who we are. We fought for that. We went to battle in the first battle in 1816. We've never abandoned our vision of who we are as a people, a proud people, a hard-working people, a people that believed that they can govern themselves. And to this day, we've never ventured off that philosophy. We've always been a government, and we continue to do so today. In 2019, when the Government of Canada signed the self-government agreements with fellow Métis citizens and groups, what did we do? I declined to sign it. I would not sign that agreement, and I'll tell you why. In that first agreement that they signed, it stated that you're recognized as a self-government from this day forward. How can I betray all those leaders that have given their lives to fight and defend that they were a government fighting to defend their nation, their culture? I said, I'll never sign it until I know for a fact that you'll acknowledge I had self-government before you came and before you knocked on my door. We have many people to think, many people to be appreciative, the locals, the leaders, the elders that fought way before my time. They were there fighting, raising the cause to protect our identity and our distinction to who we are. We are the Red River Métis, the true Red River Métis. And our homeland is not a postage stamp in Manitoba or a box, which we call now the boundaries of Manitoba. Our homeland stems all the way to the Rockies into the United States and the territories. And we respect that wholeheartedly, and we will defend that. And I thank Canada for recognizing that. In 2021, we removed the boundaries. They no longer exist to our citizens that they can come home. They have the right to come home to their own government, and they are coming by the thousands. The number is wrong, your Minister. It's not 42,000. We're about 140,000 of us, but there's really in registry about close to 60,000 already, and growing, and growing, and growing every day. So when we look to the future, we ask ourselves, what's this all about? People have been asking me, media's been asking me, people have been asking me, what does this treaty mean? Well, I can give you probably an academic answer, a legal answer, but I said I'll give you a perspective answer, something that's practical, what it means to us. It means now, without a question, even though we can trust the days of a leader like Wab Kineau recognizes us as a government, but he's not going to be there forever, neither am I. We have to enshrine and protect that whoever comes, whether it's the Liberals, the Conservatives, the NDP, whoever forms the government, has to respect that we are a government. In order to do that, they first got to recognize that we have a government. And this treaty sets the stone solid. It carves the pathway to ensure and enshrine that our government will be recognized. I am not a group. I am not an organization. I'm not an advocacy group. I am a government. And that's what they need to understand. When people start to look at it from that perspective and recognize these struggles, how hard it is, and it's always been for the Métis, that still probably I cannot answer why. Is it because it happened in such a time in history with the formation of Canada, the first Prime Minister, that actually took the position against Quebecers? When our leader was being murdered in the Northwest Territories, and being called a traitor, not allowed to take his seat as a member of Parliament elected 3 times. No one in this country stood up but us, until Quebec, our cousins, stood up. And they gathered in massive numbers. If you look, 6,000 gathered before the execution and 50,000 gathered after the execution. And that time, in 1885, 50,000, probably like 250,000 people today. And they echoed what the government of Canada was doing was wrong to us, wrong to L'Oreal, wrong to our leader. And the famous lines we'll never forget is, "Do every dog bark in Quebec, he shall hang." Well, they paid the price later, come election time. But the issue is very clear. We look at those struggles and ask ourselves, why is it we're still being treated in such an irrational, derogatory, and negative way? And we know the answer to only achieve this is to pursue where we fit in today. Where do we fit in into this confederation, this great country we call Canada? First and foremost, we're supposed to be protected in the Constitution of Canada, and we're not. When the vaccines hit us, that when the vaccines were needed, when that virus came to this country from overseas, we couldn't get vaccines like any other Manitoban or Canadian because two governments were still battling who had jurisdiction over us. Well, I had to watch my elders potentially die because of the highest chronic illnesses of any citizen in Manitoba. I had nowhere to turn. I am still to this day will hold a grudge. I'm one that doesn't. But I'll never forget what they did to us then. And that's now, not 1800. So when you start looking at what it is and why it is this treaty means so much, it sets the stage of what the future will look like. It'll be the foundation of the future for the next generation. My time, I'm 64. I will probably enjoy the treaty for a short time. But it's not about me, it's about the next generation. The treaty will be the foundation where we will build the pillars that will ensure what our people's needs are, whatever they are, will be addressed within that pillar. And if make it clear, because pillars can be torn down, we will plant seeds and we'll grow roots of our trees and we'll wrap them around our pillars to make them even stronger so that no government, no political stripe can ever bring us down again. We will take anybody on. And that's what this treaty will give us. It'll give us the strength, it'll give the pride, it'll give the wisdom, and the guaranteeiness of our young generation that it will never, ever happen again. So this is the future that we see. This is the future we have to have. So I must say to you again, the treaty is everything. And Gary is absolutely right. He's lucky. I could have get charged for physical assault. And I used to work for the Department of Justice, so I knew my range. But I am truly happy for the work we were able to achieve, whether it's Minister Miller, but Gary and I knew each other before he became a minister, which was much easier to interact with him. I do thank him very, very clearly on behalf of all my citizens and all our people. Gary was there, and he fought vigorously. Trust me, he has sleepless nights as I have. And we had a dream that we're going to accomplish this one way or another. We're not finished. We're there, but we're not finished. The race horse is still going. He's got a couple more laps to go. But I said to my wife this morning, I cannot see a leader oppose this historical right. Canada should be proud of itself. Every Canadian should be proud of itself that they're doing what's right. We cannot change history. We can't go back and change history, but we can change the future. So the history that is being now done through reconciliation, the ideology of change to respect and apologize for that past. But to understand the damage you did to that past that affects us today. That's what true reconciliation should really reflect its ideology around. So when we look at Canada, I'm proud of Canada. I don't care what religion you are, what political stripe you are, I don't care where you work, but as Canadians we should be proud of ourselves. That we're willing to admit we did damage. Very, very, very serious damage to a lot of people in the Indigenous world. A lot of people died and suffered because of the policies. But we're willing to admit it. And we're saying we're willing to correct it for a better future. So Canada should be proud that this history, that they did so much damage to us in 154 years, we suffered, and we still suffer because of that position back in 1870. So from my perspective, I think Canada should applaud itself and say, whether it's the Liberals, whether it's the Conservatives, whether it's NDP, Bloc, Green Party, in Parliament they should all rise and say, this is what Canada's all about. You can go anywhere in the world and brag about what you are and what you stand for, that you are serious about backing up your position as a people, as a country, no matter what political stripe you carry. That's what is needed in this country. So I say to you again, to all those people that support us, I got calls, I said, from the Grand Chief this morning, thanking us. I got calls from other mayors, whether it's the mayor in Churchill. And again, I thank Scott, the rest of the team, Larry, all the rest of Brandon, all the mayors, of course, our Métis MLAs. I can't thank Leela, thank you very much, and thank Blink very much. He's probably watching right now. I spoke to him yesterday. And again, I want to thank all those leaders that are willing to stand up and vote in favor of correcting history for the future. admitting the wrong, but knowing we got a plan towards the future. So again, my cabinet is so proud. We were smiling yesterday in our cabinet meeting. We were laughing, joking, you know, teasing each other, and it felt so good. And this morning, I felt so powerful. I felt so relieved that the vision is there. We can see it now. We can feel it, because there is nothing ever been given to the Métis, because everything we've gotten, we've had to fight for. So everything we've got, nothing's been ever given to us. We've fought for everything we've done. We work hard, we pay our taxes, and all we're trying to say is we want our share. We want our future, and we want the next generation to never be ashamed of who they are. As Premier said, we're all treaty. Well, the Métis are going to have their treaty now. So let's be proud of who we are and never forget where we come from. As my mom said, and let's never forget where we come from, because we'll always know where we're going after that. Thank you very much, Miigwech.
We are going to do the signing now, but I have a couple of quick comments before we do this. We're going to ask people to remain seated. We have several media outlets in the back, and their view would be obstructed of the historic event. Of course, you can express yourself once everything's said and done here, but if I can just maybe explain a little bit here. So we have President Chartrand on behalf of the Red River Métis. We have Minister Gary Ananda-Sangari on behalf of the Government of Canada. Witnessing from Canada, Minister Dan Vandel. And witnessing from the Red River Métis, Mr. Alan Benoit. I'm not sure if they want to show the covers of the treaty. They're specially made covers. They were specially designed by Métis beater extraordinaire Janine Crouchy. So, can we do the honors, gentlemen? Start your engines. Yeah, we're still signing here. We need lots of ink. There's probably a couple copies in there just for legal purposes, right?
not done a treaty, you'll not believe the amount, every period, every comma, every I, every B, the nightmare we went through.
And for those of you who were holding your breath during this, you can breathe now, and we can celebrate. We can celebrate the Red River Métis. So I have been asked to read a note that was created by Janine Crouchy with respect to the beadwork that was created for the front. The cover of the treaty was created by Red River Métis master beadwork artist Janine Crouchy. Prominently displayed on the cover is a prairie rose, an emblem that has appeared historically in Red River Métis beadwork. Janine used the rose to illustrate our survival. The stem features an infinity symbol representing the connection between the national government of the Red River Métis and the Government of Canada through this treaty. The roots wrap upwards to the top of the cover, exemplifying the growth of the Red River Métis and its government, the Manitoba Métis Federation. In its completed form, the artwork resembles the shape of the back of a fiddle, representing our musical celebration of this historic triumph. The beads sourced for the cover are a mix of vintage and modern produced beads to signify the treaty has historical roots and will influence future generations of Red River Métis. Ladies and gentlemen, the Red River Métis Treaty. We have a gift. No. Minister Ananda-Sangri, apparently there's a gift that you are presenting to President Chartrand. Everyone's attention, please. We're not quite finished.
Closing prayer, don't forget.
So President Chartrand, I would like for you to open this. On behalf of Canada, I present you with this gift. It is an oil and canvas painting titled Riel House by the renowned Métis artist J.D. Hawk, who I believe is here today. As you all know, it depicts the historic Riel House in St-Vidal.
Right there. So, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, J.D. Yeah, thank you. Al. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, we're almost done for the afternoon here before the entertainment comes on. Just wanted to, since we've recognized Mr. J.D. Hawk, I just wanted to also explain some of the pictures that you see hanging on the pillars and the walls in the room here today. They were all created, painted by J.D. He was along with us on the journey when we did the consultations on the treaty, and took several pictures of elders, of youth, of leaders, of just the time that was happening while the treaty was being discussed. And so those paintings you see there are all for J.D.
Okay. I personally forgot to thank our negotiators, and I apologize to you. You got Jim Aldridge. He's here all the way from Europe, along with his wife. Our lead litigator, you got Murray and Genevieve, one of our Métis, our very own Métis. Of course, we got Al, and we got Walter, Michael, and Steph, I believe. And if I've missed anybody, I apologize. But I also want to thank the Prime Minister of Canada. Actually, he was going to be here. And as you all know, we have a potential tariff war that might exist and cause great economic challenge to all of us in Canada. And we support Canada. We believe in Canada. So he's out. He took off to Mar-a-Lago to have a dinner with the new upcoming president, President Trump. So he's doing his part, and we've clearly accept his regrets, because he personally wanted to be here to personally sign the first ever Métis treaty since the days of 1870. So, but they sent their second best, which is great. So we appreciate that very much. So, how about me, Danny Singh? So, we have a guest that'd like to come up to a friend of ours. He's the president of the Settlements, the only land-based Métis people in Canada. So, David Lamouche, you want to come up?
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, David Chartrand. I'm here to present a gift all the way from the Métis Settlements of Alberta. We're so happy to be here today and witness this historic moment. It's been a long time coming, as you said, 153 years. And, you know, it's a very, I guess, a special moment for not just the Manitoba Métis Federation or the Red River government, but it's something very special for all of us. All Métis in Canada are looking at this very closely and very proud of the trailblazing that you've done, David Chartrand, and for that, we'd like to present you a special gift from the Métis Settlements of Alberta.
Thank you very much. Ooh,
You're very heavy.
Very heavy. Holy man. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Congratulations. Yeah. So thank you very much. You bet.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It truly is
pleasure.
heavy, very heavy. And Wob, you're not getting it if you think you are.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We are going to ask our elder, Linda St. Cyr-Sarek, to come forward. She's going to close today's ceremony with prayer. And of course, we have Elder Oliver Boulette, who will be accompanying her. After this, just before I turn the microphone over, we're going to be tearing the stage down with the tables because we have a special performance here, and I'll announce it in a little bit. The Kinyu Métis dancers are going to be performing. So just bear with us while this is broken down. We'll get our entertainment up as quickly as possible. But in the meantime, please stand if you can while we have our closing prayer from our elder.
Oh, okay. I don't know if tears of joy or what it is, but anyways, I want to try and get through my prayer. God, our Creator, thank you for making this event successful and for helping us fulfill our goals and dreams. We know, God, nothing is impossible with you. We stand in awe of your love and your goodness, and we say thank you for blessing us, the Red River Métis. Please continue protecting and keeping us under your wing. Lord, as this event comes to an end, and we leave here, we ask that your love and grace continues to guide us in everything that we do. Please send your angels ahead to ensure that everyone gets safely home. In your most holy name we pray. Thank you. Amen.
So we are going to be breaking down the stage here, but before you go, just a couple of things that may not have been evident here. We are in a building owned by the Red River Métis. So how do you guys feel about having this celebration here today? And while I still have the microphone, just a couple of quick things. I wanted to reflect on a couple of elders in my life. My dad, Senator Ed Head, and my Métis angel, Carolyn Saltel. So we'll introduce the Kinyu Métis dancers in a minute, and while we take some pictures and then move the stage.
Well done. Yeah, no. Well done. Well done. Thank you. One of our happier meetings.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, can I get the Red River Métis cabinet up on the stage here before we tear it down? Let me repeat that. All Red River Métis cabinet members, please come to the stage. Thank you. I hope not.
Okay, everyone. We are very, very proud to welcome to the stage the Kinyu Métis dancers. So let's give them a warm Red River Métis Treaty welcome. And accompanying them, of course, we have Mr. Oliver Boulette and Mr. Al Desjarlis. Let's welcome up the dancers. When we achieve something like this today, the first ever, we celebrate. We celebrate with dance, we celebrate with music, we celebrate with food. So we're doing that here today, the Kinyu Métis dancers.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to thank the committee for allowing us to be here on this special day to perform. We have the canoe steppers here, and I'd like to introduce each of them. We have 8-year-old Francisco Panita. Come up there. Come on up here. Come on up here. I'm very terrible with ages. Next we have 8-year-old, right? 8-year-old, is it 8? For sure. Bijou Nelson. 9-year-old, 10-year-old Carlitos Panita. 11-year-old Jada Relino. 11-year-old Rocco Nelson. 8-year-old Amara. What's your last name? What do you go by? Leist? Amara Leist. Thank you very much for having us. We enjoy dancing at all these celebrations. Kids have come a long ways. I believe this is our 53rd show that they performed. So, my name's Dean Davis. I'm their instructor. I've been teaching square dancing and jigging for a while. I teach over 100 kids a week right now, currently. So I just want to keep the culture going, but thank you once again for having us. It's always a pleasure and a privilege. Thank you very much. And I'd like to thank the fiddlers. If you can go shake their hands. Oh, this way. Step down. Always thank them. And thank you very much. Okay. If I can get your attention for a minute, I'm going to get Janine Croce to come up and jig with me. How many changes? Two? Okay. Two changes of the Red River jig.
Okay, once again, can I please invite cabinet, all MMF cabinet, up to the front of the stage? This time for real, it's not a drill. Please come up for a photo. Red River Métis cabinet members, please. No, sorry. Andrew Carrier, can you come to the front, please? Andrew Carrier. President Chartrand, we're just waiting for the cabinet picture.
President Chartrand, please report to the stage. President Chartrand.
There's Andrew. There's Andre.